8 years I've been doing this kind of work, doing digital marketing for real estate. Advertising is just one part of marketing. There are quite a number of mistakes people make, in this particular case, the real estate agencies.
So I have a 3-bedroom apartment in Kilimani that I want to sell. Where do I start? There is no way I would have sold the property in 2 weeks.
This is another place that many people fail. Don't be safe. People don't like being sold.
I usually hear people saying that you are bidding to come on top. In this era of AI, do we still need agents producing educative content? If you are a real estate agent and you are wondering if ads still work and whether you should be running ads or not running ads at all, today's podcast is just for you. In today's podcast, we are joined by Jesse, who's been working with tons of real estate agents, generate sales and leads through adverts. We'll go over best practices, mistakes, and everything in between. So welcome to the podcast, Jesse.
Thank you.
Just to put things into context, from your end and from your experience, do you still real estate ads still work?
Yeah. From my experience in the last 8 years, I've been doing this kind of work, doing digital marketing for real estate agents, among other businesses. I can tell you for sure, now more than ever before, the ads actually work. The issue is, how are they being done? Are you checking all the metrics to understand, and do you even know who you are targeting? Who is your audience? Because the biggest mistake most people usually do is trying to do it on their own. And when they're doing it on their own, they get to lose a lot of money. Another mistake is just looking for somebody who is just an amateur. Somebody just tells you that they know how to do ads. And after giving them money and spending for quite a long time, you start thinking that the ads don't work. But that's not the reality. It's just that it requires strategy, just like any other kind of marketing.
Now, for real estate agents, what kind of ads should they still be running? Like, what kind of ads? You see, I want us to remove the concept that you should only be doing ads around buying and selling of properties. What other ads do you see real estate agents running, or they should be running, other than just the ones involved in buying and selling of properties?
Marketing is quite a big term, and it really requires a holistic kind of look. Advertising is just one part of marketing. One of the ways that a real estate person can be able to get more clients and leads is establishing themselves as somebody who is a consultant or very knowledgeable about the industry. Because before you try to sell to somebody, you have to earn their trust. And how do you earn their trust? You earn their trust by showing that you are knowledgeable, showing that you can help them with something. That involves even educating them. There are many tactics that you have to employ to be able to have the advertising and the content that you may probably make for your real estate agency work for you.
That's interesting, and I've actually seen real estate agents running advertisement, not just to sell properties, but I've seen people running ads where they are showing like handover of titles, they are showing people being given the houses they bought over time, and they are running that as an advert so that they can probably show they've delivered for other people and they can deliver for others, so that we take this misconception that you only run ads to be able to make sales. You can run ads to build your brand, which eventually will lead more sales. But coming back to your first point, you had correctly indicated that when running ads, there are several mistakes that people make which limits the effectiveness of those ads. Are you able to just go back and then give us some of those mistakes in detail so that we can get to what they could do better?
Yeah, there are quite a number of mistakes people make, in this particular case, the real estate agencies, when they are running ads. And one big mistake is trying to do it on your own. I will repeat this over and over because most of the time, okay, you are probably running a tight budget, but on the other hand, if your ads are going to really make an impact, you need to consult or even probably invest, if you have the time and money, to invest in yourself and educate yourself in how to run effective ads. So considering maybe that time you may not have it, it would be good to get an agency that understands, and they can be able to handle that advertisement for you, so that they can give you the reports and advise you as the journey goes on. The second mistake is not doing thorough research on the agencies they give this kind of work. So you might just get somebody. A lot of people have made a lot of mistakes about agencies, marketing agencies. You go, you pay an agency a lot of money, and the kind of work they deliver at the end of the day is not what you had you wanted. So most of the time it's because maybe they are amateurish. The other issue could be you are not on the same page, which also shows that they were not as professional as possible. Because if somebody is not going to be able to do the job, they'd rather not take it and leave somebody else who can be able to handle it. That mistake, which is lack of patience. This is a very key problem, especially I've noted with real estate, because real estate is not a fast-moving commodity. It takes time. Mm-hmm. So the most important thing is that you be monitoring the metrics, so that as you build your campaign, whether it is, and a good campaign starts maybe from 3 months going on, you need to have that patience. You need to have to just ensure that your campaign is running properly. You're being able to generate the leads. You're being able to generate the engagement. You are able to educate a lot of people, because it takes time to get that one sale, one real estate sale. So you should have more of focusing on leads, engagement, education, instead of just, if you look just at short-term gain, you're going to be frustrated very quickly.
You talked about things. You've talked about monitoring, and you said maybe you are either running a campaign to get more leads, so monitor the number of leads coming in, monitor the amount of engagement that the ad is generating. Other than the leads and engagement, what other metrics could show me that my ad is working? Like, how else would I tell that my ad is working?
Okay, the metrics are quite many. The reach of your ad also matters, but also the engagement. If, for example, you are running meta ads, the engagement, the comments and the likes, they may not seem like they are anything, but actually they are showing that your ad is reaching people who are kind of interested or find what you are advertising useful, and they like it. And then monitoring the comments, like what kind of comments are they generating, these ads that you're doing, the feedback that you're getting, the kind of calls, the quality and kind of calls that you're getting. These are some of the metrics that will help you know, are you reaching the right people? Are there some changes that you may need to do in your campaign? And Apart from that, so all these metrics, from the reach of the ad, the engagement rate, that is the shares, the comments, the likes, they all matter. At the end of the day, they actually all matter, because if we see it as a funnel, we have the top of the funnel and bottom of the funnel. Of course, the people who eventually buy from you will be fewer than the people who
saw the ad.
Who saw the ad. Yeah. So they all matter. At the end of the day, all that reach. Sometimes I find people getting frustrated and disappointed that, I just get a lot of messages without any sale, without any. But what usually requires is, so long as you're doing close monitoring of your campaign, and you use the tools for analytics, Google Analytics tool, for example, Meta Analytics also, you can be able to read what is going on with your campaign and change according to what the reports that you're seeing from your dashboards.
Sometimes I think what gets most people frustrated is you don't see the leads, but sometimes you don't see leads coming in because it's not that the advertisement is working, but maybe it's going to the wrong people. Could you give us an insight around how to make sure that we are targeting the correct audience?
That is quite a long one, a long story, because for you to even, before even you do that campaign, you need to do very proper research. If it is, for example, Google Ads, you need to go check, do your keyword research, do an audit of the kind of queries people are looking at on the search engines, because that way is how you're going to be able to see and be able to target the people who are asking those kind of questions, because those are the people interested in your services. If it is the meta ads, now you need to do research, as in you have to, what we call buyer personas. A buyer persona is the kind of person you think, or no, the person you have researched, and this kind of people, maybe let's say we have Nicholas, he's a contractor, he drives a double cabin, and he takes his children to an international school. Those kind of things, you can be able to get like a few buyer personas that when you are doing that ad, you're not doing it blindly. You actually know who you are targeting, because at the end of the day, if you just do blindly, you will be losing money, and your ad will not necessarily be seen by the people who are interested or need your services.
So if I get you correctly, you mean I need to really narrow down on who my target market is. Where do they take their kids to school? Which kind of beer do they take? What kind of car do they drive? So you mean I need to really narrow down to that end. I hope I got you correct.
Exactly.
Now, when real estate agents are running these advertisements, I've come to think, and I would want to hear your opinion, sometimes they think the adverts do not work, but it's because the product that they are selling, it's not a good product. I think there is so much an ad can do to clean up a bad product. I think a bad product won't sell. Maybe an overpriced product, even if you keep advertising it, it won't move. What's your thought around maybe the ad is not converting because there is a problem with the product you're selling?
Yeah, that's an important. It's an important issue you have raised about if no matter how much you might spend on advertisement, in marketing there is something we call the 4 P's. Yeah, we have product as the first P, we have price, we have placement, and we have promotion. Now, the issue is if one of those P's is not correct with your offering, you're not likely to get the results you want. So let's, for instance, you talk about product. The product is overpriced. You have not done your proper research on what on how you if your product is competitive enough in a given market. And the second thing, you have not done proper research on the pricing. Maybe you are like 2 times what your competitions are offering. And then maybe your placement of that ad, wherever you are, the place that you are, the place that now we are talking about, they don't need whatever you're offering. That again is also a problem. And then we have the promotion. Where are you promoting this product? Are you promoting it to the people who need it, or you're just doing something blindly? So, in fact, I've talked about the 4 Ps, but I've just noticed recently they are talking about 7 Ps. When I was studying my MBA, it was 4 Ps. So, but now, as in all those, they keep on changing, because for you to do effective marketing, you have to make sure that you align with all those P's.
Interesting, because I think when we talk about product, the 4 P's, product, place, promotion, the ones that you've said, I think you bring an interesting aspect that you need to consider additional P's. Like one that I really think is key is the people who are running these adverts. Like what I've seen most people do, you run an advert, the leads come in, but there isn't someone dedicated to follow up the leads. When they just contacted you, the lead is hot, you find the people who are supposed to do the follow-up are not doing the follow-up correctly. And I would just want to hear your thoughts around how important do you think it's the people who on the back end are required to just make sure that the people reaching out are correctly taken care of?
Yeah, this is another place that many people fail. In fact, you find that there are people who spend a lot of money on advertisements, but when a lead comes up, there's no one who is ready to pick it up, do follow up, and all that. Sometimes people even call, and the kind of reception they get is kind of hostile and rude. Obviously that person is not going to do any buying or any kind of, they will not want anything more to do with the business. So it's really important, the follow-up part, the person receiving those leads has to be somebody who is really, they have really great customer service skills, customer relationship skills, and and they can do follow-up on a hot lead and convert. Without that, you find that the ball is dropping somewhere. Somebody is dropping the ball. You're not seeing the sales. You're not seeing you're not seeing any kind of conversions, just because somebody is dropping the ball. So that's another area that is usually very important to be taken care of.
Now, you mentioned, let me circle back. You mentioned that where you place the ads is very important. So far, you've been talking around Google ads and maybe Meta ads. I would appreciate it if you could just give us an overview of how do you run Google ads, or advantages of Google ads, and then we come to Meta ads, and give us an indication of what to pick between Google and Meta ads on the other side.
That's good. When it comes to ads, and right now we are now talking about digital marketing, as in digital ads. We have 2 platforms that they are the most popular. Meta, we have the Meta ads. Meta ads, this is Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. Then we do have Google ads. And Google ads, they come with a lot of, as in they involve all the products, as in the major products of Google. It can be on search ads, it can be display ads, it can be shopping ads, it can be YouTube ads. So, as in, that's how Google ads usually work. Now, they are both very good. Both of them actually, most of the time I actually prefer to combine them because they all have their advantages. And for Google is very good with somebody with a lot of intent to buy. Because for you to go to Google and type something like land in Kamulu, you're already interested in maybe to know what are the prices of land in Kamulu or prices of land in Kilimani or wherever. And you're not just searching for the sake of searching. Most likely you're interested to buy, or you want to know the price and, make arrangements or start planning to do the same. So somebody with high intent is likely to go to Google. But on the other hand, meta ads, they are good in this way. Majority of people nowadays, they are always on their phones. And the most popular social media platforms is Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. We can also talk about TikTok, but TikTok is not part of Meta. So this social media, for example, Facebook, somebody is waiting for their bus or their plane. They'll be on their phone. So scrolling and scrolling, it's one of the things people are doing a lot nowadays. Now you want to get them as they are scrolling. These people who fit your buyer persona, they are the people you want. They bump on your ad, and when they see it, they are probably going to like it, comment on it. Some may even go directly and WhatsApp you, because Meta ads usually have the WhatsApp. You can choose to lead your prospects to the WhatsApp, and whatever questions they ask, you can be able now to pick it up from there. So the key advantages of Meta ads is that you're able to generate interest. You are generating interest. You see, with Google, we talked about high intent. These are people who are likely, they are already interested. Now, in Meta, you are also generating interest, and that's why and at the same time, you are doing brand awareness. Brand awareness. Somebody didn't know, like, Tulia, for example, exists. They see an ad, oh, Tulia does this and this. So that's how they work. That's how they work, both of them. And the most important thing is usually to ensure that the people who are going to see these ads at the end of the day, whether it's Meta or whether it's Google, they fit the buyer persona that you are looking for.
What I'm getting from what you're saying is we need to also identify the goal that we want, that if you really want to sell, you'd rather maybe concentrate on Google ads more. But if you want, like, creating an awareness that your brand exists, then you'd rather do it on a social platform, like maybe run Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or TikTok, depending on the platform where your buyers are. So if I hope I understood you correctly, that we need to first of all think of what's the objective that we are trying to get. I hope I got you correctly.
Absolutely.
Now, I know we've talked about Meta and I know we've talked about Google, but something came to my mind as we were talking. There are these other platforms, listing websites. Like, I know we have Gigi, we have Buy Rent Kenya, we have Property 254, which I'm hoping people can go there and list their properties for free. Tell me, what are your thoughts around running adverts in these listing websites?
The listing websites work, actually. I've used a number of them. And what makes them work is because they also generate a lot of traffic. You see a lot of Gigi ads, for example. So, and the ads, you see their ads maybe on Google or even on Facebook. And these people, it means they are attracting traffic to their website. And then if you list with them, then it means this traffic that is being attracted and that is being generated you are going to take advantage of it. So it actually does work. So you find that they all have their pros and cons.
Now, let's say I'm selling a property in Kilimani. So I have a 3-bedroom apartment in Kilimani that I want to sell. Where do I start?
So you have a 3-bedroom
Apartment. I have a
in-
5,000 shillings advertising budget monthly.
Okay, 5,000 maybe on the lower side, but it could work for when the campaign is new, because that's when you are training the algorithm on what you're offering and the kind of people you are targeting. So when your budget is little, you need to target, you would need to use maybe something like Facebook, and use maybe 300 per day, for example.
That would be more than my budget.
Okay, you can run a campaign like for 2 weeks, for example, because at the end of the day, you if you spend too little, you may not get the people that you are looking for. Sometimes even the platform itself will advise you, if you spend 100, for example, there's somewhere you find it advising you that you might get 0 replies. So it really does. You also need to ensure that you also check what the platform is advising you. Like, for example, if that is, because it also depends on what your competition are spending. So you find that sometimes it will tell you your competitors are spending 2,000 per day, and you are spending 100 per day. So there is what we call an optimal budget. You see, it's not necessarily that if you spend too much, you're going to get better results than the person who is spending little than you. What matters is your campaign okay to begin with, and then are you targeting the right people? But then again, at the end of the day, also the budget will matter.
You've said I ran my campaign for 2 weeks and see.
Yes.
What do I do after the 2 weeks? Because there is no way I would have sold the property in 2 weeks. Little chance. So what do I do after those 2 weeks?
After the 2 weeks, what you need to do is you are monitoring. You have been monitoring the way the campaign has been running. The report that you get at the end of the 2 weeks should guide you to improve your campaign. If you need to add more money, you should be able to be guided, because at least from 2 weeks, the algorithm has already started. It has come out of learning phase. We call it the learning phase.
Let's pick a different case. I want to sell a property, 20 million, 4-bedroom house in Ruiru. I have a 10,000 budget to run across different platforms, whether it's listing websites, whether it's Meta, whether it's Google. Split the 10,000 shillings for me, because I really want this property to move, and I'm dedicating the next 6 months, so 60,000. I want to run adverts, 6,000, 6 months, and I want this property to sell. How do you split my budget?
First and foremost, 10,000 is little money if for a month when we are talking about Google. So I would not include Google in that campaign. What I would do, first, what is really selling nowadays? Create very nice reels, virtual tours of your property. They really will do work. Virtual tours, very nice graphics and captions, and then use meta ads. Okay, Instagram, Facebook, and with the option of messaging you on WhatsApp business, that is. The reason I say 10,000 is little on Google, because I recommend using, on learning phase, you can use like $5 per day. The campaign is learning. But then again, ideally you should use at least $10 per day. And that is just at the beginning. So you see your 10,000, it just maybe a week should be exhausted.
I don't think so, because if you're running an advert on Google, you can actually run the advert and spend zero if no one clicks. So you could be having the 10,000 budget, and at the same time, at the end of the month, you've only spent 5,000 because maybe it's not an area with high interest, so nobody actually clicked on your ad, and you might find you still have the same amount to spend. But if you are running Facebook or Instagram ads, you must spend. But I think Google is cheaper because you only spend when someone is interested. If, let's say, I'm selling a plot of land in Kadhonzweni, maybe no one will search. So that means I still have my budget at the end. So why am I thinking that actually Google ads are cheaper?
Okay. What happens is, depending with the industry, a click may be more, one click may be more expensive than in a different setting. But then again, on the other hand, I would say, from my own experience, that really rarely works, because you'd have to really make your campaign, you have all these negative keywords to ensure you are narrowing your campaign. And the more you narrow your campaign, the more you may have zero clicks, which is not what you want. So it's always good to give it some kind of room. And that's why I recommended 5 to 10 USD would be ideal to begin with. Yeah. So, but you still might find, remember, this is a funnel. There are people who saw your ad, clicked on it, but they were not at that level whereby they were just learning. They were not at that level, like they wanted to do the decision, like the purchase decision that minute.
They were just checking out.
Yeah, they were just checking. They were interested. Maybe they were just looking for Nairobi properties. Your ad came up, but yours is in Ruiru, for example. So with 10,000 may be ideal for meta ads.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've said in that example that someone was searching for a property in Nairobi, then my property in Ruiru comes up. Let's say I don't want that to happen when running my ads. What should I do? Because I want only my ads to be served to people who are actually looking for a property in my area.
What usually happens in that case is that you need to include negative keywords. For example, you can include a negative keyword for Nairobi. You don't want, anywhere Nairobi is mentioned, you don't want your ad to appear, so that you don't lose money since your property is not in Nairobi. So the other thing is that your keywords should just include as in the area that you want to focus on.
Let's say I'm dealing with luxury properties in Kileleshwa or Lavington or Westlands or Karen, and I don't want my advert to be shown to someone who is looking, because those are high-end places. You want the advert to just capture someone who is looking for properties on the high end of the market. What could be potential keyword, the negative keywords you've mentioned, that I could use so that if I'm in Kilimani, Kileleshwa, Lavington, Westlands, my advert don't show up for someone who is looking for an apartment in Kaha West?
Mostly, some of the negative keywords you may want to use, if you're focusing on the high-end market. High-end market people don't use words like cheap. So anything cheap, you put it as a negative keyword. Okay, like cheap housing in Nairobi, you make it that is a negative keyword. So that means anybody who is looking for a bargain or a cheap place or something like that, your ads will not appear in their queries.
So if I go to, I just pick the kind of, I target specific keywords, and I can also say I don't want to appear for this other keyword. I hope I got you correctly, yes. That I can be able to pick what actually people are served. Now, if for someone who wants to sell properties to people in the diaspora, like I only want my ad to be served to people in the US because I'm only targeting diaspora people. How should I run that ad? And I only want to target the people who are in the US. I am selling a property. I don't want anyone in Kenya seeing it. What should I do?
That is not hard to do, because all the platforms, Meta Ads, LinkedIn, and even Google, they give you the option of selecting your audience in terms of location. So you can be able to just target people in the United States only. You can even be able to target people in the United States, UK, Australia. So yeah, it can be done. And you can even narrow down even to states. For example, maybe you want to just target Washington State, yeah, or Seattle area, for example. So it gives you that option to do that. So your ad will only appear to the kind of people you are targeting.
When it comes to Google, I usually hear people saying that you are bidding to come on top. And I feel if you start bidding to get on top, you continue spending more and more, which will exhaust your budget. If I don't want to really struggle to compete, what can I do even though I know I'm not able to outbid the already established players in the market? Because I could be here, but I know I can't outbid the big brands in terms of money. Then does it mean that I will never sell because these other companies appear on top?
Okay, what happens is that you can, number one, do a good research on your campaign. Don't go, for example, for a keyword that is too competitive, because if you go for it, you will lose out during the bidding. You may not appear. So you do proper research. Look for maybe keywords people are not targeting as much, and then focus on those keywords, especially long tail keywords like the one that is asked like in a question format. You know, where can I buy milk, for example? Where can I buy milk in Kaha West? Where can I buy milk in Westlands? Something like that. So you're able to, that's why as you are setting up your campaign, you have to be very careful with these things. Because if you make a mistake, you just be seeing your campaign is running, you're not converting, you're not getting anything out of it. So first, go for keywords that, when you're using these tools that do keyword research, they can show you how much is this keyword, as in how much do you need to spend to get clicks on this keyword. So if you see one that is too competitive, don't focus on it. Then another thing that really helps when it comes to Google, for example, do a good landing page and a good website. What do I say by good? I mean, it has a good look and feel. It's fast, as in the speed is okay, and it contains what people are looking for. If, for example, you are targeting people who are buying houses in Kilimani, it has all the questions. It answers all the questions, the key questions that they have. Yeah. So if you have your website right, your website will be able, as in somebody clicks on your ad, they go to your website loads very quickly, and they are able to, they go to a landing page, and the landing page has what they're looking for. That drives up the conversions.
No, you raise a very good point around having a very good website, because maybe we are driving traffic to the website. If it loads slow and someone already clicked, Google will charge you, but then someone bounces right off your website and goes. Now let's come to just reviewing a good website. If I want to personally review the real estate website, other than speed, what do I need to just make sure it's correct. Let's say the first one is speed. What else do I need to make sure it's there?
Apart from speed, how is the navigation? As in, when somebody comes to your website, are they able to click, or they lose their way when they get there? You know, in 3 clicks, they should be able to get to where they wanted to go. They click on maybe your homepage and the place that they want. If that is not the case, guys, nowadays, one of the things they don't have time. As in, the attention span of most people is very little. So in a very few seconds, your website should be able to answer the query of your customer. Also, it needs to look good. It needs to look good. You have gotten it right with branding and colors. You know, sometimes you can visit a website and just the look and feel makes you, I can trust these guys. So all these things matter. The look and feel, the experience, the user experience of that website. And now, also we mentioned about the speed.
Now, something reminds me when I just visit your website, and it's something you had talked about earlier, that when running an advert, you need to have very good reels or very good photos, very good images of the properties that you have. I think the same should be reflected on the website, don't you think so?
Absolutely, because after clicking the ad, now they go to the website and they now need to now get all the information that because the reason they have clicked the ad, they are seeking more information. And so as they seek this more information, it should, as in all the details, the photos, the virtual tours, especially for real estate, very key. So yeah, it's very important.
Give us your experience around supporting real estate agents, either whether it's social media, website as you've correctly mentioned, or driving sales or running ads. Tell us your experience in working with real estate agents.
Yeah, I've worked with real estate agents, and like I said at the beginning, ads do work, especially because the content that you create, it should have a number of goals: informing, educating, and entertaining. So at the end of the day, you are looking for traffic. That's why you're doing all this content marketing and stuff. And to get that traffic, the content you are going to create, whether it is educating, for example, maybe you are just done a piece on what to look for if you're looking for a title deed, or what are the do's and don'ts before you buy a property. You're able to attract people to your content because your content is educative and your content is helping them. One of the ways that you're not going to work, in my experience in real estate, don't be salesy. People don't like being sold to. You need to appear like a consultant. You are a consultant. You are helping them. You are not just looking at, no matter how much amount of plots for sale, ads you do, broti maguta, whatever, it's not going to work until you realize you do it right in a way that drives engagement to your content. And then as you're able to get more engagement, you're able to generate these leads. And these leads, whether it is for those who are buying or those who are renting, so you're able to. So my biggest experience is that you need, when it comes to real estate, don't be too salesy. Don't be too salesy. And then also have to remember that the process of selling a property takes time. And even deciding to buy a property takes time. So also have patience.
Something that I was thinking through. Whenever you log on to, nowadays when you search something on Google, the first results are usually AI results. Which means, and you've correctly said, I need to put out educative and informative content. But I think what Google is doing, it's using the content that I create, and instead of taking people to my website, it's using that information presenting it as the first results, which is AI generated, such that no one ever gets to go to my website, even though I've created very good and informative content. Now, in this era of AI and people preferring to talk more to AI instead of just reading through a whole website, go to page 2, go to page 3, in this era of AI, do we still need agents producing educative content?
Absolutely. Because actually, more than ever, you want the AI to get to know you, to know your business, for example. Because the AI overviews, also, your business can appear in the AI overviews. So the more trust, the more you brand yourself as a leader, as a leader in your industry, and showing that you have quality content. These AI overviews are not your enemy. What will happen is that in the AI overviews, you find that maybe just directly below it, the links to where that information is also shown. Apart from that, you can actually appear directly inside the overviews. Like now, if you ask maybe a question like, where can I get a house in Westlands? How can I buy a house in Westlands? You might find a number of real estate agents in the AI overview, where the AI overview is explaining, you can get a house if you contact these particular guys. The people who will appear in the AI overviews are people who already, they have a lot of, in the digital space, they have what we call like credence. They are very credible in the online space and even outside there. That's how it's not. The AI overviews are not an enemy. They're actually very good for you. So the more content you generate, the more you present yourself as a thought leader, the better for you.
Okay. Now, just tell us what kind of services do you offer real estate agents, so that in case they need those services, they can be able to reach out to you?
I'm a director of a digital marketing agency called Aquila Infotech, based in Nairobi, and I do digital marketing. I also do in my agency. We also do web design and development, and anything to do with the digital space. It's our specialty. It's our specialty. It's something we have been doing for the last 10 years or so. So yeah, guys, you can reach me. My website, that is aquilainfotech.com. Email is info@aquilainfotech.com. The contacts are there in the website. So in case you need any further consultation, you can always reach out.
Thanks. Parting shot, for real estate agents, what is one thing that you wish real estate agents knew about the digital world?
Yeah, parting shot. Number one, if you're not on the digital space, you are invisible, because majority of people are online and they are looking for properties online. So let's say for example, you have been doing your real estate for the longest time, maybe over 20 years. You just have this board outside your office, and you also have maybe all these signs in various properties. That is something, in as much as it's working, but you are missing a lot, and you're leaving money on the table if you're not having very good digital presence. And what do I mean by digital presence? I mean having a very good and well done website, very well done social media profiles on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. That is the basic. And also having what we call local SEO, that is being listed on Google. Google, we call it Google My Business. It's usually very, very much important, because you're also able to attract people to come and do Google reviews, and that is one way you actually get traffic to you, and even get these people calling you. Yeah.
I hope we can have you sometime and talk about social media management, which you have said towards the end, and Google My Business.
Absolutely. I'd be very glad to come back.
So thank you so much for coming here, and we've been glad to have you.
Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure.